There will be no Zoom call today, as I absolutely positively have to spend the whole time working on images. So I will respond to questions and comments, but I won't be reading anything, and no Zoom call. All right. But before any of that happens, I need to make a pot of coffee. But while I do that, here, I'm not going to read anything, but watch this. People on Twitter are freaking out about this video. Watch right here. Watch his hands in the microphone.
I'm not at the moment.
Have you decided when you're able to share thoughts with other countries? Is it allies or neighbors first? Thoughts with other countries?
Watch the hands again.
Travel to the southern border, sir?
I'm not at the moment.
Okay.
Have you decided when you're able?
So people are saying that this is green screened, and my thought is, what would be the point of that? But here, let's watch the full. You watch it while I go and make coffee. But watch this full video and ask yourself: is this green screened? And if so, why? What would be the point?
I'm Dave Rosenberg, the new owner of White River Subaru. To
Shut
celebrate,
up,
we'll
blah,
send a donation
blah, blah.
to every new
Your
Subaru
commercial
sold.
will not play on my screen. Fuck off. What's this?
Mr. President, do you have any plans to travel to the southern border, sir?
I'm not at the moment.
Have you decided when you're able to share thoughts with other countries? Is it allies or neighbors first? Who will be the first country to get U.S. vaccines?
I've been talking with several countries already. Well, I'll let you know that very shortly.
All right, so that's enough. I don't see any reason to go to the trouble of having this long-ass tracking shot where he comes out of the White House, he walks with several trees and other buildings passing between him and the camera, and then there's a long shot of him walking toward the camera and getting bigger in frame the whole time, and then he comes up to the microphones. You know how hard it would be to do all that as a green screen shot? It would be the work of many weeks. What would be the point? There was no content there that was at all, remarkable. So let's go to Twitter for a second, just while the coffee brews. Then I'm going to get to work. So let's go Amber Krabak. I don't know what her name is for Washington, is it? Let's see. Oh, she tweets a lot. Okay. Damn. Okay, she's one of those. All right, well, I'm not going to find it that way then. Okay, so here's just the bit that, people online are obsessing over. It's right here. His hand passes in front of one mic and behind another. And I think, here, let's back up a little.
I'm not at the moment.
Have you decided?
Let's go back further.
Do you have any plans to travel to the southern border, sir?
I'm not at
Here. This is one of the frames I think people are freaking out over. And yeah, it looks a little weird because the dead cat here, and I'm afraid that's what it's called. It's, you know, it's a windscreen protector for a microphone. It's on a pole. It's being held so it's low and pointed up at him. And his hand looks really crisp and clear, and his sleeve here looks really crisp and clear compared to the dead cat. But the dead cat really is fuzzy. Like, I mean, in real life, its texture is fuzzy. That's the point. And also, I mean, here, this guy, Justin Hart, don't know who he is, but I think he's got the exact right take on this. Guys, there is nothing to see here. Please don't get distracted by this stupid stuff. Exactly. But then, let's back up a little more. Oh, okay, somebody's posting this. Nothing to see here. Please disperse. Obsessing over this stuff just makes you look like a crank. And I said exactly that. Let's see. Well, I'm not going to find my exact comment, but it was words to that effect. I mean, you know, this is a shiny object meant to distract people. So I wrote to, I just commented and I asked, you know, show me the source, show me this video that's not on Twitter. So she says, the Hill video is where I took it from. I believe it is originally from AP. The AP posted the full video here, but it's been edited, spliced, so I'm not sure if it's any help. No, this is helpful. And I basically just said thank you. Let's see if I can find my comment here. My comment was, thank you. Looks like the sort of digital artifact that comes from digital video compression. More and more video gets processed in camera to improve contrast and crispness while keeping the file sizes small. I doubt there's anything deliberately sinister going on with this video. Okay, so that's not how you spell literally, huh? How do you spell literally? Oh, come on, motherfucker. Alexa, how do you spell literally?
Literally is spelled L-I-T-E-R-A-L-L-Y.
Thank you. Stop listening.
You're welcome, KMO.
Stop.
Hope you have a
Stop.
good Tuesday.
So why isn't that literally? Anyway. All right. Very exciting. Start a live stream so you can watch me tweet. Closing Twitter. Oh, what do we got? What do we got? Literally is spelled figuratively. Right on. Right on. All right, today I'm working on another political cartoon. This one is, I think, less incendiary than the previous one and probably will get used. I get paid whether they get used or not, but my ego really wants the exposure. So, and let's see, what am I doing? Let's move this bad boy over to the other screen. Clip Studio. Alrighty. So we're going to save this as, call it Abolish ICE. Now I don't know how to spell TIFF. One F or two? Two. All right. And now, delete all of it. And we're going to go black background. I'm really going to try to finish this like on this live stream. Okay, now already. Fishing around on a trackpad, I can just pick up the stylus. All right. So earlier today, I took a walk to go get some food. Let's see. You should draw a cartoon of Keith Preston debating Alexander Reed Ross, or arm wrestling, even better. Who is Alexander Reed Ross? I'm getting a very, very slight tingle of recognition on that name, but nothing substantial. Let's see. Corner to corner. Corner to corner. Straight up the middle. And side to side. Alrighty. So now, with this one, I'm actually going to use the frames function. It's been so long since I've done it. Let's see if I can remember how. There we are. Rectangle. Yeah, let's do one here. Boom. Frame one. Great. And here. That two. And then here. then like that. No. No. This is the super tedious part of cartooning. Oh, the little fiddly bits. All right, there we go. So, if you had 4 frames, you wanted to order them 1 through 4 vertically, like in a menu like this, would you put one at the top or the bottom? Funny me, I'd go top to bottom, but I don't know, maybe it's a Japanese thing. They go bottom to top. So let's just reverse these bad boys. Come on. There we are. 1, 4. Drag you down to the bottom. Nope. All the way. Come on. See, now it's made 4 into a subfolder of 1 or of 3. So, frame. Oh, I've lost myself already. Here we go. Come on. Up to the top. There you go. And then 2. Here, why don't we, for simplicity's sake, close all these. Go 2, 3. I mean, am I being weird about that? Wouldn't you order them 1, 2, 3, 4, top to bottom? It's like, shouldn't north be the top of the map? Not always. Not everybody sees it that way. Alrighty. So, do I leave the grid? Why not? ARR, professor of geography at Portland State University and Antifa leader in, what's PDX? Anyway, he mentioned Keith in a book, Against the Fascist Creep, and Keith has been at war with him online recently. Oh, I see. Maybe I should interview him. That would probably just be a freak show and not very productive. PDX equals Portland, Oregon. Oh, is that the name of the airport? It sounds like an airport. Yeah. Portland International Airport. Okay. All right, so now, actually, I'm going to close my Gmail tab, and then I'll put my browser back over here. I need to hunt up some images. So let's go immigration protests. Images, please. Don't tell me no stories. Abolish ICE, not ICE caps. Love it. So abolish ICE is the... Okay, is this a famous image? Is this recognizable? I want to grab something that is recognizable. So anyway, this is exactly what I need, so I'm going to grab it. Let's see, just copy image. And back over here. Okay. So now, let's find the lady with the sign. There she is. Okay, so what's this guy's sign? No ban. Oh, I can't read it. What does it say? Democratic. Looks like Sinclair. Something of America. Democratic something of America. Well, anyway. Let's raise this. I mean, not raise it. Let's enlarge it. Alrighty. Something like that. And another sign, I'll change it to say no illegal people, but I think this is going to be the basis of the image. And is that the Supreme Court of the United States behind him? I suppose I might have to read the frickin' article, at least a few paragraphs. Let's see. No. Let's go back to images. I need... Where was it? Oh, I just had it. Where did that image come from? Oh, come on. I need the story to go with that. Here it is. All right. Oh, this is from 2018. Wow. Okay.
Expected.
Nope. Hush. So this is in Manhattan. Okay. Liberal activists. So that's probably the federal courthouse in Manhattan. That's what I'm guessing. Okay. So what we got here? No, PDX is definitely the airport in Portland. Or, Progressive Democrat X? I don't know. A lot of Oregonians use PDX online for Portland abbreviation. Yeah, I think it's the airport. All right. So let's go. Federal courthouse in Manhattan. Show me the pillars. All right. There. That's pretty much what's in the picture. Okay, one more. Are there any better ones? No, that's pretty good. Okay. No, back. I'll go back. Oh, shoot, I've lost it now. I go back this way. There we are. Yeah, that's the one. Just going to save this image. That might come in handy later. Posh ice and what's the slogan? No people are illegal, or no illegal people, or let's see. No human being is illegal. No human being is illegal. Okay, that's the phrase people use. Okay, so let's grab this one. Yeah. All right. This is all from a conference call I just got off of. This issue is not my passion, but I mean, the whole point of this comic strip is to emphasize that cheap labor libertarians and corporate oligarchs share the same position as the woke left on the topic of immigration. No borders, maximum dilution of labor power. Bring in people who are used to, who are desperate and used to working for much, much less, and who are willing to undercut American laborers by, any amount, really. But at the heart of all of this is first of the month and rent is due, and this is a paying job, so I draw it. Alrighty. Oh, this one might be better though. Yeah, that is better. Well, let's just copy the image. No, let's save it. I might want it later. Okay. But I will copy it too. Let's see. Copy image. Come on. Oh, that's the wrong icon. There we are. Alrighty. So we'll put another one in here. What is she on the bottom? Yeah, so that needs to be much smaller. All right. Yeah. I don't think we need to see the whole sign. I think people will get it. Let's see. Is she a kid? Is she an adult? How big does she need to be? And how about this? Yeah, that'll be fine. Now, on this one, raise it up at all? Nope. Okay. Here. What's this? I see. Yeah. No, I don't see what's happening. Oh, it's okay. It's a sign. Gotcha. Okay. You know, as much as I want to reference this young lady here, I don't think it's going to happen. I'll put her message on a sign here. Alrighty, so she's got to go away. Sorry. Alrighty, now. Oh, nope, it's still here. I thought I killed the chat window. Hey, you know what? While I draw, I'm going to play a video about the new Adam Curtis documentary by none other than Doug Lane, who I'm sure will not hit me with a copyright claim. Let's see. 0 books. Adam Curtis. Oh. Understanding Adam Curtis. Watched over. Where's the new one? Okay. Out of my head. I guess it's this one. Oh, you can't see it. You don't see what's on the screen.
That's why right now, when you activate your...
Shush. You commercial people. Oh, this is weird. This is some kind of black American flag defense gun thing. Survival bug out bag being advertised on the 0 books. Oh, what a mismatch. All right.
Hello, 0 Books readers and viewers. It's me again, Douglas Lane.
Hello, Douglas Lane.
And in this video, I'll be responding to the new Adam Curtis documentary series, Can't Get You Out of My Head, and to the recently published 0 Books title, Democracy Under Siege by Frank Ferretti. The Critical Cuts videos on this channel are quite consciously styled after the montage documentaries of Adam Curtis. Films such as The Trap, Hypernormalization, The Century of the Self, all watched over by machines of loving grace, and it felt like a kiss. Not only were influential aesthetically, but Curtis's polemics about the power of individuals and ideas, and the history of when those ideas have gone wrong, set me off on a quest to create my own mashups of archived film footage, with the aim of assisting the liberation of humanity. But what I didn't realize was that rather than being part of the struggle for socialism and human freedom, Adam Curtis's ideas were actually products of a deeply conservative worldview, an ideology that believes itself to be beyond politics and power. In a 2014 interview for the journal Film Comment that was later quoted in a Wikipedia article, the filmmaker clarified what his films are really all about. In the interview, Curtis claimed both to be a kind of neoconservative and to be lamenting the loss of communal values and a kind of individualist or libertarian value. Ultimately, Curtis explained that he was very much a creature of his time and that he didn't really have any politics. He, like everyone else, has abandoned politics and power in favor of a seemingly never-ending and repeating critique. In fact, the real power of his films and their message has never derived from any positive prescription, but by coming at any given subject from a multiplicity of perspectives, registers, and times, Curtis manages to land both rhetorically successful and even penetratingly accurate critiques of the left. It is the way he catalogs our impotence, picking out all the species and subspecies of our failures, that gives his work both significance and meaning. And it is precisely for this reason that today's left so desperately needs his films. The repetition of images and songs is justified by the pressing need to drill the reality of failure into an otherwise myopically optimistic left's head.
Well, the first thing we should remember is that Sanders' campaign was a remarkable success.
Curtis's critiques of populism and techno-progressivism, psychology and mindless consumerism, bankers and factory owners, consumerism and poverty may be contradictory, but it is for this reason that the critiques tend to reach their targets. In a world riven with contradiction, a man with a copy of the film Tiger Dance, starring the burlesque dancer Sherry North, and a CD's worth of ambient music, can truly capture reality if his cuts are properly timed. At the end of the final episode of Adam Curtis's latest film, Can't Get You Out of My Head, the filmmaker sums up his docuseries by suggesting that what is lacking in the modern world is confidence in human subjectivity and in freedom. Instead of engaging with the real world and its problems, we have given in to conspiracy theories and other illusions in order to avoid changing. We've created a virtual world to hide in, but this world has also become a strange nightmare. What makes Curtis's description and critique difficult to pin down, however, is that the difference between the fantasy world of AI hallucination and the real world of dead malls, inequality, bombing campaigns, and COVID is difficult to make out. Curtis begins this film series with a quote from the late David Graeber. Quote, "The ultimate hidden truth of the world is that it is something we make, and could just as easily make differently." This sounds like both a deep and obvious truth. However, it is, I think, too simple. I would revise Graeber's revelation, rewrite it this way. The ultimate hidden truth of society is that it is the unintended result of the way we produce and distribute the things we need to survive. We could, with a great effort, arrange our productive activities differently. I think the difference between these two versions of the hidden truth is essential. It's the difference between anarchism and Marxism. And it might also be the difference between a materialist and an idealist conception of the world. In his recent book, Democracy Under Siege, Frank Ferretti gives an argument that would be right at home in an Adam Curtis documentary. He writes, "Political psychology has often served as a medium for diseasing the demos, and by implication, democracy itself. In the 19th century, psychologists developed theories of the crowd, which stressed the irrational and destructive behavior of the urban mobs. In the current era, citizens supporting so-called populist parties are diagnosed as possessing toxic authoritarian personalities. Psychology's contribution to the silent war against democracy has been in serving to depoliticize and medicalize behavior of its target. Views that inspire and motivate popular movements are dismissed as the outcomes of psychological pathologies, narcissism, irrationalism, deluded fantasy, rather than as legitimate political responses to public problems." He goes on to quote the social critic Christopher Lasch, a figure who has been featured prominently on this channel and who has become a hero for what's sometimes called the dirtbag left. Ferretti wrote that Lasch argued that by equating mental health with left-wing politics and by associating right-wing politics with an invented authoritarian pathology, the goal was to eliminate authoritarianism by subjecting the American people to what amounted to collective psychotherapy, by treating them as inmates in an insane asylum. Adam Curtis made similar observations in Can't Get You Out of My Head, and in his documentary series, The Trap, wherein he tells the story of how millions of people became convinced that they were mentally ill as psychiatrists began to use surveys and computers to discover who had the symptoms of an array of new disorders that were themselves only collections of symptoms. The new approaches to psychology and diagnosing mental illnesses that arose in the 70s and 80s became, perhaps inadvertently, a new mechanism of control. Both Ferretti and Curtis are convinced that the idea that power should rest with citizens in a democratic society has been undermined, as those citizens were deemed to be irrational and sick. But what Ferretti and Curtis don't seem to realize is that the citizens in a modern democracy, while perhaps not mentally ill, are set into opposition, driven into antisocial behavior by the material interests that arise under capitalism. For Ferretti, this failure to understand how bourgeois democracies are inherently fractured by class interests and how this leads to the development of a managerial state is surprising, given that he was, in 1978, the founder of the Revolutionary Communist Party in the UK. Even as late as 2012, Ferretti was giving lectures on Marx at the Academy of Ideas. But it's worth noting what he said there.
Discovering what goes on. And we know, for example, when he writes in Volume 3 of Capital, he makes the point about how in ancient Rome it was politics, and in the Middle Ages it was Catholicism that reigned supreme. He doesn't say that in ancient Rome it was a slave economy, right? And he doesn't say that in medieval Europe it was just serf economy. He didn't write a critique of Roman political economy, because there was no political economy in Rome. Right? He wrote a critique of political economy because at his lifetime it was political economy, particularly in its Scottish form, that for him represented the most interesting and the clearest expressions of what he took to be fundamental relationships within society. So there's no kind of fixed relationship.
Now, I looked for this quote from Volume 3 of Capital and didn't find it. I did, however, find it in a footnote contained in Volume 1. Some had objected to Marx's characterization of the base directing or determining the superstructure by saying that in the Middle Ages it was Catholicism which reigned supreme, and in ancient Athens it was politics. Marx responded by saying, in the first place, it strikes one as an odd thing for anyone to suppose that these well-worn phrases about the Middle Ages and the
Doug,
ancient world are unknown to anyone else.
Don't know where you're
This
going
much,
anymore.
however, is clear, that the Middle Ages could not live on Catholicism, nor the ancient world on politics. On the contrary, it is a mode in which they gained a livelihood that explains why here politics and there Catholicism played the chief part. Somewhere along the line, it seems, Ferretti lost his grip on Marx and, whether inadvertently or not, turned him upside down. He turned him, in other words, into an idealist. This may explain why it is that he has spent decades trying to protect bourgeois freedoms and rights, while simultaneously abandoning the role that the working class must play in changing the base of society.
All right. Hey, it's Jim D. Let's see. Don't know there's much of an all here. Anyway, no call today, Jim. I absolutely have to be drawn the whole time. So I'm playing a video of Doug Lane talking about the most recent Adam Curtis documentary, Can't Get You Out of My Head. I watched part 6 of 6 this morning. I have a lot to say about it. In fact, I made a video about it today, and I was starting to upload it from my phone when my phone went kaput. At least all the Google software on it went kaput. I'm going to go have a look at it, actually. All right, phone, wake up. Uh-oh. Phone may be bricked. Nope, I just heard it. I didn't hear it. I felt it. Felt it vibrate. Okay, there's some stuff on the screen. Alrighty. Yeah, maybe I could at least play you the audio. I still have the original clip on the phone itself, and at least the video gallery functionality is still working. Anyway, I need a picture of Jeff Bezos. Let's see. Yep. You know, I just typed Jeff into Google, and the first thing it offered me was Jeff Bezos. All right, so give me images. Images of Jeff Bezos. Now, you know, this is such a funny image. That's what Jeff looked like when I worked at Amazon. And this is what he looks like now. He looks like J.K. Simmons to me here. Anyway. What's just a very that's definitely Jeff Bezos. Oh, there he is with his new woman. Let's see. That's Mackenzie. She sat at a table out of the hallway outside of the room that I worked in when I was at Amazon. And I didn't know she was Jeff's wife for many weeks. Let's see. I think that's the most Jeff-looking Jeff photo, so I'm going to grab that. What do we got? What do we got? No worries, one occasionally has to work. Typing to Eric into Amazon search. Try typing Eric into Amazon search. Okay. Into Amazon search. Okay, let's do that. Now, is that Eric with a C or Eric with a K? Eric with a C. Okay, Eric Carl. That's the top result. Is that the gorilla? Mud Puppy Eric Carl, the Very Hungry Caterpillar? Is that the author? Yeah. Or is he the illustrator? It's probably the illustrator. Oh, Eric Schmidt, Jeff Bezos, seeing if they reciprocate. Well, did Eric Schmidt write a book? I mean, is Amazon, are you talking about just searching the Amazon website, or has Amazon launched a rival just web search tool to Google? Well, you know, search results are tailored to the individual making the search. You, of course, know that. Let's see. Eric Schmidt, he's not head of Google. Sundar Pichai is the head of Google. I think Eric Schmidt has joined Sergey Brin and Larry Page in semi-retirement so that they never have to go and testify in front of Congress. They can just pull the strings from behind the scenes. Let's see. American businessman. Eric Schmidt. He's known for being the CEO of Google from 2001 to 2011. Yeah, he's long gone. No, her current head of Google is Sundar Pichai. There you go. There's the current face of Google. Oh, you can't see that. That's on the wrong screen. There you go. That's the new Eric Schmidt. Sundar Pichai, chief executive at Alphabet. When did he start? Pichai was selected to become the next CEO of Google in August 10th, 2015. Yeah, so that was 6 years ago. The C-suite peeps never invite me to the grip and grins. Yeah, me neither. Me neither. Although there was a hot second when they did. I remember one New Year's Eve at a high-rise condo in Seattle. That was for one of the VPs at Amazon who, within a few months, have then got pushed out. All right. Did I already grab this picture of Jeff? I don't think I did. Let's see. Yes, all right. There's, what I really need is a picture of Jeff Bezos watching TV. Google, can you provide? I don't think Jeff watches a lot of TV. Although he does watch The Expanse. I mean, that's why Amazon saved it when the Sci-Fi Channel pulled the plug. Let's see. All right, so back to Doug. Oh, actually, I'm going to see if I can rescue my my video. Maybe I could just upload it directly from the phone. Well, first I'll see if I can get the video editing software to launch. It's Power Director. Nope, it still doesn't want to work. Or maybe screen's gone black. Just thinking about it. Thinking about it. Maybe you'll launch. No. Okay. So instead, let's launch the YouTube. But there's graphics and images that I cut in. God damn it. It really bums me out that I spent an hour working on this thing. Maybe it wasn't an hour. I spent a considerable amount of time working on a video, editing it. And just as I was going to upload it, my phone or the app decided it just didn't want to play anymore. Let's go to the Google Play Store and see if I can download the app again. Power Director. Nope, the only option it gives me is open the app, and I hit the icon and nothing happens. Nope. Now the screen's gone black and it failed. Failed. All right. Well, I won't be using that app anymore. So I'll just upload the raw video to, and then I will, I'll type up some stuff on screen and show you what I'm talking about. All right. So YouTube. Possibly the most exciting live stream I've ever done, eh? Now, can I be streaming to YouTube on one device and upload a video on another? Interesting question. We shall see. You know what? We won't see. What I'm going to do is just send the video to myself and I will play it on the stream here. How does one do that? Gallery, camera videos, video, share, YouTube. Yeah, I'll just do it like that. What the heck? All right, video is uploading. The drawing resumes. Okay. Let's go. Jeff over here. He's got his arms crossed. He's going to show off his big muscles. You're thinking, my thoughts exactly. Smack attack, that's exactly what I wanted. Text color needs to be black. Background needs to be, well, it can be a light blue, I suppose. And he'll be saying, polish ice. Another line. Make a whole nother balloon. How about that? Abolish ice. Okay, so for this to fly, it's got to be a really spot-on drawing likeness of Jeff Bezos. And I am not ashamed to cheat and trace if need be. Although I will want to simplify it and cartoonify it, make his head bigger, all that good stuff. Let's see, 3% uploaded. Oh, wow, 66 minutes remaining. Let's see, let me turn off my mobile data. So it's going through Wi-Fi. 67 minutes remaining, all right. So now, boom. Depends on your broadband configuration, I would imagine. I don't remember what question you were answering, I'm afraid there, Jim. All right, so Jeff. Let's bring Jeff into the picture here. Where'd I put that? Reference. There we go. All right. You know what? Let's one more image of him, actually. We'll say Jeff Bezos muscles. Let's see. Well, I need him in business attire. But no hat. Come on, come on, come on, come on. All right. Get a hunch here. Just got a hunch. Let's go J.K. Simmons. It was a movie where he played a music teacher. This is the one. Yeah, look at them muscles. Here he is in the gym getting all pumped. Hurrah! All right. So that's the pose I'm looking for, but Jeff's not that bulky. Oh well, I'll just wing it. Let's just go back to Jeff Bezos. That's a fun one. Suppose I could put. Well, I'll just put him in the black polo. That's not a polo, is it? There's no collar. There is there. I can't tell because it's black. Put that one. Discover how Jeff Bezos got jacked. Well, I imagine he's got a personal trainer. Quite the home gym. And what else? Possibly some TRT, which I absolutely wouldn't be throwing stones there. Let's see, well, nor would I with the personal trainer. I mean, if I could afford one, I'd surely have one. All right, you can go, you can go. Which I didn't mean to import, I just want to open the image. So I won't be tracing that because it's not quite the right angle. Actually, okay. And we need an image of an Amazon warehouse interior. We need to have banners on the wall behind people. Actually, we could have a guy walking out of an Amazon fulfillment center. So let's get an exterior shot. That. How about this? Yeah. There we go. Okay, that's a keeper. Let's keep looking. Let's see. Amazon unionization efforts.
Fox contributor Dan Henniger in on this.
Remove yourself from my screen. Oh, I'm on the foxbusiness.com website. Biden backs Amazon workers' push to unionize in Alabama. Make sure your voice is heard. Biden offered tacit endorsement of Amazon unionization efforts. Huh. I like how the bold print headline says, Biden backs Amazon workers' push to unionize. And then, smaller print, Biden offered tacit endorsement of Amazon unionization efforts without directly naming the e-commerce behemoth. That's quite the backpedal in so short a space. But he's clearly talking about Amazon, because he says workers in Alabama and all across America are voting on whether to organize a union in their workplace. It's a vitally important choice, one that should be made without intimidation or threats by employers. Every worker should have a free and fair chance to join a union. I've never, in my 52 years of life, had the opportunity to join a union. Anyway. Is that a photograph or is that CG? No, that's a real facility in Las Vegas. You've had the opportunity but never applied for the right job to get it. That's a very fine hair to split there, Jim. I've never worked at a job where the workers were unionized. Let's do that. And I've worked a shit ton of jobs. All right. I think we can just go with the smile here. Yep, that's what I'm saying. All right. How to do this. I think we are going to need an interior shot, actually. Oop, what am I doing? Jeff at the Fulfillment Center? Yeah, looks like it. I played air hockey with Jeff Bezos at a party at the original Fulfillment Center. We just called it the warehouse at the time. In Seattle, down in the south of Seattle, actually. It's all smiles there. Man, is that a kid? That's got to be like bring your kid to work day. All right. This, I think, is the archetypal Amazon Fulfillment Center task picking. All right. I should just save it. Let's grab this one. All right, so we're going to have the mean old boss in this one saying, you can take a piss when your shift is over, Jose. Where's that text layer? Here it is. All right, so let's do the background a little higher. Yeah, I think that's enough. Folks will get it. Recess. All right, we're just going to get rid of the now. All right. Doing that. Hey, when your shift, let's make that your shift. That fits more nicely anyway. All right, so now? How much of the sign can we see? Or the... Oh, no. No. Can't do that. Can't do that. All right. Okay. Let's see. The term fulfillment center just bothers me. Yeah, many people have noticed the irony there. As if only a wage slave can fulfill your needs, or as if anybody who works there is finding fulfillment. Maybe with the help of a robot. Yeah, help, in quotations, scare quotes, and some surveillance cams, yes. And some micro expression recognizing software hooked up to those cameras. $52% uploaded, 31 minutes remaining. All right. Let's see, why did I get off of Clip Studio Paint? What did I come over here to do? Oh yeah, let's go. Illegal alien worker. Amazon. I started to type Mexican, but they don't have to come from Mexico. They can come from Guatemala. They can come from Nicaragua, Panama. I doubt many people are coming from Costa Rica. Costa Rica's pretty nice, as I know. All right, not much there. Let's try Tyson. There'll be a lot there. That could be Jose. Okay, I'm going to hold on to that. That's a good face. I like that face. JFIF? What kind of file is that? Okay. What do I got? I leave you to your work, off to pursue some Z's. Laters. Yeah, sleep well. Be well. Carry on. Mm-mm-mm. That's not what I wanted. What's happening? There we are. Nope, can't do that. What was on that original sign that was vertical like that? Oh. No ban. Yeah, doesn't make sense. Let's look at some more protest signs. Most of them are horizontal. Those kids, not even your wife likes you. Okay. We care, why don't you? All right, I can make that work. Jesus was a refugee. Our parents, let's see. The Pilgrims were undocumented. Free those kids. I prefer crushed ice. Ooh, there's a good one. I prefer crushed ice. I like it. All right, let's try that. So, All right. So crushed. Okay. All right. Let's see, but Amazon warehouse supervisor. He wears a hard hat and a tie. Okay. I doubt they wear ties, actually. Yeah. look at Jose. Uh-huh. Okay, I don't want him to look mad. I want him to look chastened. So I bring the scope up. I was looking down. All right, I saw some change on the screen over here. What's that about? Oh. How's this going? 85% uploaded. All right. So yep. To do it. C. To put in the accents myself. So I think we're going to have to move Jose. Maybe shrink him a little, or shrink the boss. Or let's take the boss. Let's take them both, actually. Shrink him down a little. This way. Yeah. And then C, senor. Move it down here. No. There. What's up? Hey, first. Here, I'll show you what's up. Let's see. Let's pop over here. Oh. On account. All right.
All right. Well, I tried to live stream, but I have T-Mobile as my carrier, and T-Mobile sucks around here. Why do I keep it? Well, I tried to switch to AT&T. They mailed me the wrong SIM card, didn't fit my phone, and then they told me to get the right one I had to go to Keene, New Hampshire, to an AT&T store. And I said, well, forget that. So, you know... I tried to switch over to AT&T because they have better coverage here, but their customer service was so inept from the get-go that I knew that would be a terrible idea. And I rarely use this device as a phone anyway, and most of the times when I am using it as a phone, I'm not in New England. You know, I'm on the road, I'm traveling. So anyway, as I started to explain in the live stream, a week ago tomorrow, last Wednesday's From the TV Studio live stream that I do, somebody in the chat asked me if I had seen Adam Curtis's new documentary. It's from 2021. It's called Can't Get You Out of My Head. It has 6 parts. The last one is an hour and a half. And I did. I hadn't seen it at the time, but since then, I have watched the entire 6 episodes, and I didn't just watch them, because Adam Curtis documentaries they tend to be very dense, but also with long periods of no dialogue, no narration, just stock footage and music. But I have since watched it, and I didn't just watch it, I watched it with a notebook open in my lap, pausing frequently to write down notes, rewinding as necessary. And one of the major themes in the documentary is that humans, you know, in recent history, recent being like the last couple centuries, and also in the current context of the last couple decades, we get to points where our ideologies or our ideas or our notions about the world or our meta-narratives or, you know, whatever you want to call them, they are no longer serving us. They did not produce the results that we hoped for and were expecting. And we become confused, dispirited, demoralized. We don't know really what to do or what sort of story to appeal to. And in times like that, something that people have struck upon again and again is to create a fantasy version of their own culture's past and try to return to it. It's happened again and again. And Adam Curtis documents it, you know, in many contexts. But, you know, one of the effects of this demoralization and being dispirited is a sense of learned helplessness. But in the documentary, Adam Curtis, he's telling a complicated story. He's telling it in a nonlinear fashion. He doesn't tell you in advance what the destination is. So it's pretty confusing. It requires a lot of attention. And then on top of it, a lot of the players, whose actions he's documenting, they don't have Anglo names. They're Chinese, or they're Russian, or they're folks who live in the U.S. or Britain, but they have names, from other cultures, which is fine. But when he introduces a new person's name, he doesn't put their name on screen. And this is particularly difficult with Chinese people. So regularly I would stop and I would, I'd pause the video, I'd get out my phone, and I'd do a Google search using my voice, to try to get the spelling of these people's names so I could have it right in my notes. So if in the future I ever go back to my notes and I want to look something up, I've got a head start. So that practice added to the confusion and the sense of not necessarily hopelessness or despair, but the sense of being frustrated just trying to follow his narrative. And I started to watch Doug Lane's video on the series, and unlike Adam Curtis, Doug does jump to the end right away. So like 4 minutes into the video, he says, and Adam Curtis's final point is, and then I just said, la, 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 stop my ears, stop the video. So I'll go back and watch that now that I've seen the whole thing. But, of course, I'm watching this, and, he's talking about stuff that happened 50 years ago, 80 years ago, 100 years ago, but the series is gradually creeping toward the present. And there's a weird feeling every time the narrative switches from something that is historical to something that I remember from the news from the past couple of years. And of course, it brings us to the 2016 election and how, the indignation and incomprehension of the liberal intelligentsia regarding the election of Trump drove them to embrace conspiracy theories, about Trump being a Russian agent and about mind control via social media. And I mean, you've just lived through the same past 4 years that I have. Maybe, you are a CNBC or MSNBC watcher, and you still subscribe to all those notions. Like, you haven't yet disabused yourself of them, but you will over time. I mean, perhaps there's still somebody around who thinks that Joe McCarthy was just right, and that it was absolutely the right thing to do, to destroy the careers of people who refused to give up the names of people they knew who had expressed communist sympathies. And if you're that kind of person, well, you're old, for one thing. And two, yeah, I mean, if you've latched on to the whole Donald Trump has been a Russian agent since the 80s narrative, you'll probably go to your grave with it, and, whatever. But various thoughts occurred to me as I was watching it. One was just a very visual thing. I have a TV that I got last year. It's a Roku TV, and it's from TCL. And I also have a sound bar and a subwoofer from TCL. Very affordable, very cheap. Here I am in rural New England. I mean, I'm in the big city of Bellows Falls, which has a population of like 2,500, something like that. But, if we were to jump in a helicopter or take a drone up, you'd see that this is just a little, little space of streets and buildings in a vast, vast countryside covered with what are right now mostly nude trees and some conifers. But most of the information that I get about the world, all the voices I hear, all the images I see, all the text I read, is coming to me either through this little phone that I have, my Surface Pro or my laptop computer, or that new TV. And here's this very complex narrative from Adam Curtis, which, I just finished the last one. It had 108,000 views already, and I don't think it's been up on YouTube that long. So a lot of people are taking it in. But it came into me through, it came to me, through that TV. TCL TV. And at one point, he's talking about the rising surveillance state in China. And there's an image of a police officer holding a TCL camcorder, a very small camcorder, and he's documenting protests that are taking place outside of the trial of a Chinese politician who had made his career trying to fight corruption and had been accused of corruption and eventually convicted of corruption. That guy's name, I'll put it up on screen here. It was one that it drove me crazy trying to figure out the spelling based on Adam Curtis just saying it aloud and never putting his name on screen. And in the whole series, he never put that guy's name on screen. But Chinese people had gathered outside the courtroom at his trial to complain about all the ways they had been abused by corruption and organized crime that had gone unchecked or was often taking place, with the collusion of government officials. And there was a police officer in the crowd documenting who was there protesting, and the device that he was using, was a small handheld camera that was made by TCL. So I froze the video and I took a picture of it. And it's a picture of, what's on screen, but since I've paused, it's also telling you what video I'm watching. So you can see it's an Adam Curtis documentary. You can see what episode it is. You can see how far into it I am. And then you can see outside the frame of the TV, at the very bottom on the frame of the TV is the TCL logo. And then below that on the soundbar is the TCL logo. And then below that on the subwoofer is the TCL logo. So here I am depending on this window to the world provided to me in part by TCL, which is a Chinese company, which is beholden to the Chinese Communist Party, which must turn over any data they collect on me to the Chinese Communist Party. And here I am, looking at all this. And I notice that on the screen, again, it's labeled in text what I'm watching, but then below it, you can see how far into the video I am because you can see the progress bar. And then below that, you can see the panels of the videos that YouTube is recommending to me. So you can tell what YouTube, aka Google, thinks I'm interested in. And there's so much information conveyed in that one frame. I'll definitely put it up on screen here. Anyway, I've just walked to our place, drop-in center, where I can...
I'm going to pause here. Check this out. So this is, I forget the author's name, but she wrote a book called The Pentagon's Brain, talking about, among other things, how the Pentagon is looking to reorganize its global strike capability away from, large masses of troops that would hold and occupy and hold territory to, small elite teams and high-tech means of delivering, high-impact high-impact strikes anywhere in the world. And also, the Pentagon is really looking to accelerate creating autonomous weapon systems and getting humans out of the loop, particularly with things like drone piloting and whatnot. So that's that first video frame. Second video frame that Google is recommending to me is video for cats. Just, images of birds, video of birds. I don't know what this next one is with the forest, but then the one after that that's Oumuamua. You might remember that extrasolar system object that got spotted, and it was a very strange shape, very elongated, and people thought, oh, it must be a spaceship. Probably not. But anyway, that's kind of a nice little encapsulation there of the sorts of things that I watch and that YouTube recommends to me. All right, I'm not going to play the rest of the video. That was the bit I wanted to share. Okay. So, Bo Jilai is how I would pronounce that, looking at, just at the Romanized version of his name. But Adam Curtis was pronouncing it like Borgi Lee or something like that. It took me a long time to find this correct spelling of the guy's name, because as I say, Adam Curtis never puts his name on screen in the documentary, and he's only mentioned in this final episode. So I said his name isn't on screen in the whole series, which is true, but there's no reason to have expected it to be on screen except in this last episode, but it never was. Which was frustrating because I was trying to take careful notes. All right. So my point being that Adam Curtis is talking about how the world is becoming too complex. It's complex It's too complex for human minds to follow, but AI can spot patterns in vast seas of data and activity, but it can't assign meaning. It can't tell meaningful stories to itself about the patterns it's detected. It just detects the patterns. And so humans, we get totally lost in these vast seas of data and these vast collections of information that we can't possibly sort through. We can't even, absorb it all, much less make sense of it. So we just rely on stories. But Adam Curtis is making the documentary unnecessarily complicated and hard to follow. While the documentary itself is talking about the psychological effects of making our environment too complex and hard to make sense of. All right. So we'll get the chat back up. And put it over on the other screen and get back to this. All right. Oh, I think the battery in my TabMate is giving out. Well, I'll let you watch the rest of the video then. Hold on a sec. Well, I changed the battery.
Can get some free food because, Google thinks I'm interested in, and there's so much information conveyed in that and organized crime that had gone unchecked or was often taking place, with the collusion of government officials. And there was a police officer in the crowd documenting who was there protesting, and the device that he was using, was a small handheld camera that was made by TCL. So I froze the video and I took a picture of it. And it's a picture of, what's on screen. But since I've paused, it's also telling you what video I'm watching. So you can see it's an Adam Curtis documentary. You can see what episode it is. You can see how far into it I am. And then you can see outside the frame of the TV, at the very bottom on the frame of the TV is the TCL logo. And then below that on the soundbar is the TCL logo. And then below that on the subwoofer is the TCL logo. So here I am depending on this window to the world provided to me in part by TCL, which is a Chinese company, which is beholden to the Chinese Communist Party, which must turn over any data they collect on me to the Chinese Communist Party. And here I am, looking at all this, and I notice that on the screen, again, it's labeled in text what I'm watching, but then below it, you can see how far into the video I am because you can see the progress bar. And then below that, you can see the panels of the videos that YouTube is recommending to me. So you can tell what YouTube, aka Google, thinks I'm interested in. And there's so much information conveyed in that one frame. I'll definitely put it up on screen here. Anyway, I've just walked to our place, drop-in center, where I can get some free food because, the month isn't over, but I'm out of money and there's no more money for groceries. So I won't say dependent, but I am grateful for the opportunity to just walk over there and walk away with a free meal. And I'm going to do that right now. All right. Talk to you soon.
Speaking of Oumuamua, that's the shape that they think it is now. Kind of pancake shaped. So we'll close that. All right. All right, let's go back to... Where are we going back to? We're going back to... Frame 2. So we put Jeff. Let's see. So what makes a bald man's face distinctive? How can you draw a likeness of a guy who's bald? Well, he has eyebrows. And I'm not going to draw in his eyes in great specificity because I'm going to have to exaggerate them to make it look like him, you know, in a drawing. He's got wrinkles. All right. Oh, I just deleted everything that I just drew. All right. So let's grab his face. And let's see, turn off the dialogue. His face over the side. There we go. Opacity back up. And now we work on a likeness. And the way to make a likeness is to exaggerate. All right. Oh, he's a very narrow nose. All right, I got that. The bridge of his nose is quite narrow. He's got a sparkle in his eye. And he's got those laugh lines, because he does laugh. lips pressed tight. He does not have any distinctive creases in his forehead, apparently. Got a little something there between the eyes, or at the top of the bridge of the nose, but not much. Chin dimple. Want to put a tie on? I guess so. Did it again. I drew the wrong layer. All right. exaggerate how thick his neck is. All right. All right. Hey, I have an idea. Save that work. And take a break. Go outside.